say.
You know, it just occurred to me that maybe I should play this as an exit song.
Yeah.
You know, this is the Rydell guys. We've got Josh and Braden Williams back in the studio. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
So, Braden, you just let something drop right before the top of the hour. And over the transition there, you said that you went to see the Odyssey 3 times.
Yes, I'm going the third time tonight.
Okay, that's great. Now, are you holding his hand, or you said you went with a friend? You said because you mentioned your girlfriend, and then you mentioned another friend, and that you wanted to go with, and it's like I don't know. You're like two-timing? Are you holding his hand? Are you doing their shoulders? Or what are you doing there? I mean, what's going on?
It seems like a good friend.
Just a good friend. Okay.
Being supportive.
So,
no one wants to go to a movie alone or out to eat alone, you know. Get embarrassed.
All right, Josh, what do you think of a fella? He says, yeah, I've already been twice, and a buddy of mine asked me to go.
I'd say have fun.
You got plans afterwards, or are you just doing the movie?
We might go to the Shire Bar and Grill. Usually like going there.
Sure. Okay.
Good place to eat.
See where the night takes them, huh?
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
You know, but does your girlfriend know about that? I'm not going to tell her. Just
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. All right. That
answer.
sounds like an interesting conversation, fellas. All right. So, Josh, you're in the service. You're in the service side. Braden, you're in the quick lube side. All right. So, if the AC in my truck stops working, who do I bring it to?
Josh.
All right. Josh, tell me about like these little canister things. All right. These little canister, AC filler thingies that you put in your truck. Tell me about those. Are those any good?
Well, they'll charge it up. I mean, it ain't gonna fix the leak, but it'll work for a short time. I haven't looked and seen if they have, refrigerants changed again. So there's the 1234 YF system now. So I don't know if they have those cans out there. It's expensive, that refrigerant is, but the old 134A, which came about 96-ish to around 2000. I think some vehicles still use them. It'll charge it up. You kind of sometimes have to do a little bit of work to get the compressor to kick in to suck it in, but it isn't going to fix your leak. So,
yeah,
how long is it going to last? That's
all right. So I've
leak.
seen like the cheap ones, right? And then you see the fancy ones with like the gauge on them and the pump, and it's like $1,000. They got payment plans going on this sucker. You can like mortgage a house, mortgage a house, But they've got some expensive ones. They got some cheap ones. Are there some that are better?
Well, so if your compressor isn't running, unless you have the system sucked in a vacuum in there, it's not going to pull the refrigerant in. So there is a low side. So when it is running and you have a tank hooked to it, it'll suck that canister in there. But that's where you kind of, if you overcharge a system, it's actually going to do the same effect as an undercharge. So,
all right, let's go to the phone. 775-5559. Caller, you're on the air.
Got a question for Josh. I bought a Chevy SUV at the police auto auction last weekend for my girlfriend. It's got lifter noise. How can the guy fix it? Is there additive, or do you have to replace the lifters? Thanks. I'll hang up.
Yeah, there is no good fix other than replacing it. Find a place to delete it or buy one of those fancy boxes off the jungle Amazon, and that's about the only way. I mean, there is no magic cure to fix them than replace them.
All right. You just used a word there. You said deletion. Now, I've been looking up trucks, like heavier duty trucks. If I wanted to tow, say, 14,000, 16,000 pounds. We've talked about trucks on this show a number of times. And I keep looking, and a word keeps popping up, and I really don't know what it means. What does it mean when I'm looking up a used diesel truck, and it says it's been deleted?
So most vehicles went to a diesel with a DEF system or DPF or, So a lot of that has been deleted. So,
Meaning there's no DEF in it?
Yeah, it doesn't use that system. So a lot of times, we won't buy them that way because you're not technically supposed to be. They're supposed to be off-road use on that point. So it's DEF is a very, very It's not a fun system to work on. That's the main problems with diesels now is our DEF system.
When did that come in? Was it 2008 or 10 or 7?
Oh boy, yeah, right around there on vehicles. Because I'm trying to think, the model change came over in the 3/4 tons in 07, 08. Yeah,
yeah. Because
right
I've got a school bus that we're kind of redoing as a it's like a motorhome kind of thing,
yeah.
and that's a 2006, and it's got a Cat C7 in it. But I wanted to make sure I actually got that engine before the DEF system.
Yeah, I think some of the buses, but a lot of the buses ran gas too for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So, when they didn't have the diesel, yeah. But now, yeah, almost anything we sell 3-liter up to the 6.6, they're going to have DEF in them. So,
Texter writes and it says, "Tell the lifter guy to start with an oil change." Yeah, so if you wanted to do an oil change, I mean that would be on Braden's side.
Yes, sir.
All right, now so Braden, you're on the quick lube side, and I asked you before the show. You say you're on the quick lube. How fast?
Pretty darn quick.
Like pit stop kind of style, or we're like coffee break style?
Coffee break style for sure.
Okay. All right. So you're not like going in and like zeep, zeep, zeep. You're not going to like all the guys attack the truck or anything.
If it's 10 minutes before close, maybe. But
so it gets faster. So what I hear from you is that. So what time do you guys close?
We close at 6. But
all right. So if you show up at like 5:45, they're going to attack your truck.
Yeah, it depends on if we're busy or not, too, right? If we have 4 lanes, so we have roughly 8 to 10 technicians working.
Mm-hmm.
We have 2 to 3 per vehicle. Typically that late, we don't have any vehicles. So if you show up, instead of the 2 to 3 guys, you have 8 to 10. So you have a lot of guys helping out and trying to get out of there on time. And yeah, not that we skip steps or anything.
All right, so if you didn't skip any, you're not skipping steps. How fast do you think you could do it? It's 5:45. You want to go home. There's nobody else there. You got all the hands. How fast can you do it?
I'd probably say 10 minutes.
All right.
10 minutes. Not a pit stop, but
not a pit stop.
Fast
all right,
coffee
so
break.
It's a fast coffee break.
Yeah.
So it's a bathroom break.
Yeah, exactly.
So you go from a bathroom break at the end of the day, kind of time. If you go in the middle of the day and you're backed up, maybe it's the coffee break time.
Yep.
All
I
right.
would say the coffee break time in the middle of the day.
All right. Now, what kind of stuff do y'all do during the quick stop?
Yeah, so we do as simple as oil changes to tire rotations. We replace engine air filters, cabin air filters, wiper blades. We replace some bulbs that are accessible. Some of them you got to remove fenders or take bumpers off. Those we don't do.
That's ridiculous to me, by the way.
Yeah.
If you have to disassemble your car to change a light bulb, maybe have a talk with the engineering department. I mean, the light bulbs in my house are pretty easily accessible, and I still don't change the darn thing. In fact, this dumb thing. I mean, out of line with Rydell. I apologize, but I am so bad about changing light bulbs, and my wife is so good about not nagging me that she will let all the light bulbs in the house burn out, and she will walk around with flashlights. Okay, she actually did this. This actually happened. I got really busy, and I don't know, for some reason, I just stopped changing light bulbs, and like. All the light bulbs in my hallway were out. The light bulbs in my kitchen were out. And I walk into the kitchen. My wife is holding a flashlight and cooking dinner. But she never once told me or nagged me about changing light bulbs. It's like, all right, honey, I get the point now.
Hey, can't beat that.
So just saying that you guys actually changed the light bulbs. I didn't know y'all did that.
Yeah, yep.
If you can get to them.
Yeah, if we can get to them, we'll do it.
So, and wiper blades, the end cab filters, and things like that.
Yep.
Okay.
As much as we can do.
Okay, now, I know I'm not the only fella that has a problem with the mice coming up my doggone air filter in my truck or my car, both of them. Okay, I know I'm not the only one. What's the worst you've ever seen?
I've seen a dang near half-eaten one, and I've seen dog food stored in one. Just rodents, going back and forth, storing stuff in there.
You don't have to
I can pull my camera on it.
No. You don't have to in detail describe my air filter. That's a little rude. But I mean, no, because that's what my air filter looks like.
Ooh,
it's so doggone frustrating. I live on a farm.
sometimes it's
All right.
It's tough.
Do y'all sell like just a screen? Like, can you just like retrofit, just cut a screen and put it in there? It seems like that's a service Rydell could provide. Says, hey, do you want the upgrade of just putting a screen in there for you?
Well, you wouldn't want that because that's your air intake, and you know what's going to happen. It's going to plug up, and you're not going to see it. You start losing some power. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, I know. It's I know it's a double-edged sword, isn't it?
Or it sucks up dog food into your engine, and a mouse. And a mouse comes, spitting out of your.
You wouldn't want it after the air filter because that's calculated airflow through there. And once you start skewing that, that's when you start getting some issues.
Yeah, but I mean, you could put like some chicken wire. You can put some kind of grate over there that just to keep the doggone mice out of it without actually interrupting the airflow.
Well, that's what the air filter, most of them have that little metal screen, but then,
All right. Braden, you're on the lube side. You've seen a lot of air filters. How many of them have this little metal screen?
A lot on the engine air filters. You might be referring to the cabins, but
I'm actually talking about the cabin filters.
Those don't have them. Yeah, those won't have them. But like he said, for engine air filters, they do. But haven't seen a screen on a cabin filter.
But like seriously, why not?
It's a good question.
See, you guys just need to keep like a roll of screen or something there, and just say, hey, you know what, $20, and I'll just cut this out. I'll put it there for you. Real easy. $20. I mean, minus the $15 kickback to yours truly. But I mean,
I don't know if you could.
For the idea,
get a metal. I mean, that cabin air filter is like there ain't room for much but that filter to get in there.
Yeah, they go tight in there. Sometimes you even have to, grab a little pick and hook it and pull it out. Like it sits in there pretty tightly.
And then when the mice are living on there to get it out, it's not. It's like.
Yeah, when you're trying to remove an entire mouse nest with all the dog food and stuff piled up on there, it restricts the airflow too.
Yeah, one thing with like you said, how tightly they'll sit in there. You'll catch the leaves on top of your filter, right? We'll pull it out because it barely fits in there. And there's sometimes that those leaves then, as we're pulling it out, everything drops into that blower motor, and you start it up and you're oh gosh,
and then it's never the same. I was on.
Must have not got everything out.
Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Look, I had to go buy a shop vac in North Carolina on a trip. Okay. And moving on. I'm not bitter at all. 775-5559. Caller, you're on the air.
Hi, I have a question for both the service guy and the oil change guy.
All right,
Are you ready? Okay, service guy. Several years ago, I was told by a trusted mechanical person, do not run regular gas in your car. Spend the extra money to buy the higher quality gas, or preferably the stuff without any ethanol in it. He said it would be worth your while in service repairs and stuff like that. Then, just recently, I've had someone else tell me that I trusted that said, well, nowadays the cars are built for this stuff, so you don't have to do that anymore. So, you, being a mechanic and up on your stuff, what should I do?
Right now I do. It's calculated a lot better than it used to be. So running 87, especially around here, isn't going to hurt it. It's going to calculate enough. If you're running in the mountains, higher altitude up and down, the higher octane with no ethanol, you don't get fuel knock on it. So it's a little better up there, but around here, 87 will do. Will you have some problems? Maybe, but it's getting so rare nowadays.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. And then just a comment for the the oil change guy. This probably isn't your neck of the woods, but I just wanted to mention that every time I've tried to come see you guys and use your online scheduling service, it always gets all screwed up and I get lost in the shuffle and it gets frustrating. Is it because my phone isn't an iPhone, or is it because of the browser I'm using? I have no idea. Anyway, do you have any idea?
Yeah, I guess I haven't heard that before from various users, but if you ever had the time to come in, we could look at it together and I could definitely help you out and we could figure out what's the problem.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
anyways, it's frustrating. So I just come in and
You
make
could
an
ask
appointment
for
at time.
Braden Williams in the
Braden?
Quick Lube at the Chevy store, and like I said, I'd be more than happy to sit down and figure that out with you.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Have a nice day.
Thanks
Have
for
a
the
good
call.
day. Bye-bye.
All right, couple of texts that came in. Texter writes in at 775-5559, says, the guy with the lifter noise just add 4 quarts of 80/140 gear lube, fixed mine right up, right away. What do you think? Good idea? Bad idea, Josh?
Well, if you want to quiet them up, yeah, you want to fix it. That's two different things. I just got my pickup because the lifter took out the camshaft, and that's how I could afford it. But
This sounds like the difference of like putting a crying baby in a closet or actually making the baby stop crying.
Are you fixing the? You're not fixing the problem. You're just masking it. It's like putting a Band-Aid on a 3-inch gash. It's going to stop a little bit, but is it going to fix it? No. Lifters are oil fed. That's how they lock, they unlock, and that's how they roll, and that's how they're lubed. You start putting thicker oil in it, yeah, it's going to sit in there, but eventually that oil is going to get warmer faster along, so then are you going to do more damage? Probably. You're probably going to take your camshaft out because.
All right.
Unfortunately, yeah, if there's some backyard mechanics that are going to sell it, and we can get the noise gone and out of the door. We made our money.
Fair enough.
We would never do that, but
no, I would never imagine.
No, we're pretty straightforward. So if
it is good to know, though. I appreciate what you said there. It's like, okay, well, yeah, you can put some thicker oil, but the space in those lifters is still going to be there.
That
makes sense.
We've had many come in or we just buy them, and then 2 days later, after we look at them, they start knocking like that, and we look at it and go, well, it ain't worth fixing. So then we send it to the auction, and it gets wholesaled that way, and people buy them as a builder. A lot of auto body places have a totaled out truck they bought, and the motor's good, so they'll put the motor in there, and then they'll sell them. So that's what happens to a lot of ours. We buy so many. Did someone do that before it happened to us? It could have happened, but if we know, we will either fix it or get rid of it or sell it as a mechanic special. We don't hide stuff like that.
All right.
Unfortunately.
Dexter writes in 775-5559. It says, how much of this is poor design and how much is intentionally done to hoodwink the normal backyard mechanic? I think it is done intentionally so that normal, fairly mechanical people simply give up.
Must be talking about the bulbs and stuff like that.
Oh, I suppose.
That
is frustrating because you ever try and take, I've tried taking like some of those panels. You got some of these stupid little clips and then the clips break and you're like, I don't even know how to look for that part for the clip.
Well, it's not so bad in the summer, but you should come take these bumpers and stuff off in the winter. And then, all this plastic, so your hands are already chafed up, and then you hit this plastic, and it slices your fingers up, and it's like paper cuts all over. It isn't fun for us either. It's not like we love it. I don't want to pull a bumper off to put a headlight in.
That sounds like a pain. And then it sounds like, so when you pull a bumper off and it's really cold outside, does that bumper does it ever just crack on you? It seems like that's really ripe for cracking. Or do y'all see that in the lube area?
Not so much.
They don't tend to do that. Unless it's easy one. Bumpers come off fairly easy. I say that now just because we've done it for so long but you got to be careful. You got to know where to hit.
All righty.
That's the difference in you and I.
775-5559. Caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, I just have a question. What do the two gentlemen there think about the 10L80 transmission, the one that GM has in their trucks, and the same one, they work with Ford on it, and in the Fords, it's a 10R80. I've heard so many terrible things about it, but I have an F-150 with one in it, and I love it. I service it every 60,000 miles, and it shifts awesome. It's never making any noises. I mean, it's a perfect transmission, right? And I just put newer tires on it. I went to some 32s. I went into 4Scan, changed tire size just to, because you're supposed to for the speedometer and the transmission shifting. And I love it. It's a great transmission. What do you guys have to say about it?
Thanks for the call.
Mechanically, it's a great transmission. Electrically, it's kind of a nightmare. Everyone seems to be different. They all shift a little different. They'll shift different every time. I've had some Ford buddies that say the same thing. So, I mean, if you get one that works, they're great. If you get one that's a little finicky, hopefully there's a programming for it. Hopefully you don't have a valve body issue. I know Ford's got a valve body repair out there for theirs. We got one for ours. I mean, so.
You see that entire conversation, Josh, I don't know if I don't know, Braden, if you understood that conversation or the question, but personally, that entire conversation just flew over my head. I don't have the foggiest idea what kind of transmission you're talking about.
Well, it's a 10-speed transmission.
Okay.
So,
you say, at least now I'm getting somewhere. I can understand a 10-speed transmission.
The acronyms after it, I mean, or whatever. But, we have, I think it's 7 different versions of the 10-speed. So, when you start going into it, because now there's a mechanical shift, there's an electronic shift in there. So, there's a bunch of different parts of that in the valve body. So, it's not the same game as it used to be. So when these people come in like, well, I drove my neighbor's and he didn't do it. Well, you're kind of comparing apples to oranges there. Yeah, it's the same 10-speed transmission, but the valve body's different, and that's what's controlling almost everything of the whole transmission, or it's electrically different here, how it's supposed to shift. So that's the big problem, is that people are comparing these, and you might not have, it might be the same exact truck, but it might have a different version of that transmission. So that's where I think a lot of the misconception gets to be, where that transmission is how it should be.
Yeah, and I to answer your question, I know enough to listen to guys like Josh talk about it and kind of, listen. But when it comes to having a conversation and educating on people, that I'm not the guy to ask.
I think it's kind of the same thing. Like you'll have the conversation with the gun guys, and everybody has their little thing. Like my thing would be like sailboats, okay? And I could talk to you about a Pacific Sea Craft versus a Bayliner or a Catalina, and right, and these are just jargon, right? But and Brennies. But anyway, everybody has their own thing. But when I listen to like real mechanical guys like talk about a different transmission or tire sizes and stuff, is like, okay, tire size, I understand that. Okay, speedometer, got that one. I understand that part. Good. Bigger tire size can mess with your speedometer. I got that. That makes sense. Okay. But like, it's the same thing when you hear guys compare about guns. Okay. And they use all the numbers and, and the calibers and things. And I'm like, No. It maybe no. I still don't.
And I didn't know for Ford, but General Motors, like we can change. It has to be, you can get a certain number and program it, but it has to be a authorized tire size by General Motors. We cannot change it. So when you start changing tire size on ours, there's nothing we can do for you. And that we've seen it a lot too, and that'll screw up shift points, because I mean it thinks it's supposed to be rolling on this and you're rolling on something else. Your rolling circumference is different. It's changing your speedometer. It's changing how the speed, sense. The change, when it's supposed to shift, the downfall and downshift and everything. So it,
I can see that throwing some stuff off. I'm mechanically inclined. I mean, I can understand that. But you start talking about different.
I didn't know Ford allowed that, I guess.
All right. So here's a question for you. We've got about a minute left here. So, you got manual transmissions and automatic transmissions. Are you still seeing trucks with a good old-fashioned manual transmission?
Not at Rydell's. I don't remember.
I mean, do they even make a new truck with a manual transmission anymore?
You would have to special order it from us, I know. But as much as I know, there's still a Tremec 5-speed or 6-speed out there. Might even be more. There is a manual, but not. It ain't going to get ordered by us. I mean, because it'll probably sit on the lot.
Interesting.
we're going to sell what we can sell, you know.
I know Toyota used to have the Toyota Tacoma, and they would be a standard there because I sold one back, a number of years ago now.
There's a guy that works there because, Toyota is one of our stores. I know he bought one with the manual. So
Interesting.
I'm assuming they're still out there.
All right, last question for you. 775-5559. Texter writes in and says, how common is a catalytic converter going out in a 22 Chevy 4-cylinder truck? Wouldn't that depend where you park it?
I haven't seen on a pickup missing yet, but I don't know if it's out or it's just setting the code for the catalyst performance there. I seen one come in. It must be yesterday. Maybe that's the caller. I don't know. 4 cylinders. Usually, if there's a failure with like the turbo or something like that, or how it's running, that usually puts it in a premature failure, causing that to go out. So, has it happened? Yes. Is it common? No.
All right, fellas. That's all the time we've got today. Thank you, Braden and Josh. You need some oil changes. You need your tires rotated. Go see Braden. You need your AC fixed. You need the other things. Go see Josh.